Good afternoon and welcome to this week's joint meeting of the Hamilton Rotary Club, Linwald Kiwanis, and your Chamber Red Carpet Luncheon. Kim Manifo, would you please come forward with the prayer and the pledge?
Thank you, Meg. May we bow our heads, please? Lord, we ask you for your wisdom and your guidance as we move throughout our days. Help us to be faithful stewards of your love for humanity. Help us to be respectful citizens of the communities that we live in, and to do the best to our abilities to help one another. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Kim, and I apologize I didn't introduce myself. I'm Mag Baker, and I'm president of the Hamilton Rotary Club. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce President of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, Kenny Craig.
I was going to pull a fast one on you. Since Tim wasn't here, I was going to act like I wasn't here either. And I was wondering who was going to fill in for me. Somebody want to do that today? No. Before we get into our meeting today, I want to thank our centennial sponsors. Our centennial sponsors at the Chamber are those organizations that go above and beyond the call of duty to help us do the work that we do throughout the year. And on the banner behind me, you can see who they are. We have Fort Hamilton Hospital. Let's give them a hand. This year, the City of Hamilton. Let's give them a hand. I'm not sure if anybody's here from Mercy Health Fairfield Hospital. Let's give them a hand. Also want to thank our event sponsor today, Butler Tech. Let's thank Butler Tech for their sponsorship today. And finally, while I'm thanks to TV Hamilton and the Hamilton Journal News for their coverage of the state of the schools today. Let's give them a hand. Before we get into our program, I do want to make one announcement, and it's, I think I know why Tim Knabb's not here today. We have one of the most unique events coming up this weekend that happens throughout the entire year in the community. And it is Ice Fest 2013. How many have ever been to an Ice Fest event in Hamilton? How many are planning to come this year? I know I'm planning to come because I'm going to show up tomorrow to help set things up. But Tim's probably out working right now, so when you see Tim, he is chairing the event this year. So we'll give him a pass this year for not praying. Let's pray for Tim right now. Why does he need it? Because there's a lot of work to do. He's done a lot of work with the committee throughout the year. And with that, I'm going to get into the state of the schools. Now, why is the Chamber of Commerce interested in the state of the schools? Well, because I talk to businesses every day that tell me their most important asset are what? Their people, their workforce. And we think that the work the schools are doing, providing education and ultimately a qualified workforce, is so important to the viability of this community. Now, we're going to do the same format we've done for several years. We're going to have 4 different speakers. Our speakers today are Bill Miller, who's the interim superintendent of Butler Tech, Brian Pendergast, the principal of Baden High School, Janet Baker, superintendent of Hamilton City Schools, and Mike Pratt, the regional dean of Miami University Regionals. And so what I'm going to do is introduce our first speaker, and then the speaker will introduce the next speaker. So you don't get to see me again. So if you want to fill in for me after this, all you got to do is sit down. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Bill Miller. Just met Bill today. He's fairly new on the job. He is the interim superintendent of Butler Tech. So Bill Miller, please come tell us the state of your schools.
I'd just like to start with, wow, this is my first public appearance representing Butler Tech. What a setting. This is very nice. I also would like to start by thanking Mr. Craig for allowing us to be up here today to speak. I believe, as you know, Butler Tech right now is in a transition in the leadership. We had made a tentative commitment to be here, and then as we have progressed, we're here, and he has worked with us through that, so I thank you very much for letting us be here. From a leadership standpoint, just very quickly, we have a three-step process at Butler Tech they're going through. The board has identified they wanted on an immediate base an acting superintendent, which was me. Their intent then was to move to an interim and then into a longer term, obviously permanent superintendent. Through that process, I have moved from acting to interim. And in that process, then we're looking for different firms to represent Butler Tech to go out and bring people in and do a national search. Our current timeline on that is probably to have somebody in place by June 1st on a permanent basis. So if we are meeting up through June 1st, there's a good chance you'll be speaking with me and we'll be working together. I came to Butler Tech in August. I came as the director of curriculum, and I brought with me 32 years of experience. But I walked into an exciting world in the technical education world. I walked into a world that has my learning curve on a massive upward swing. I'm hearing now terms such as articulation, CTAG, CTE 26s, and again, 32 years, I think I've got it all down. My learning curve is massive and it's extremely exciting. So as we move forward through this process, my learning curve will continue to grow as a superintendent to get out into the public, and I look very much forward to working with the businesses of Hamilton, especially through our adult education and continuing our associations. For my update, I've chosen just to do one specific piece today. We have the Butler Tech School of the Arts, and I hope that you've all heard of the School of the Arts. That opened in 2005, and interestingly enough, it started as a school for at-risk students, and it started with about 50 kids, and it started in the fitness center. We have had a wonderful working relationship with the fitness center since 2005, but I'm proud to say that we have now grown to an enrollment of 130 students. So we've outgrown the fitness center, and we hope to continue to grow that number. So as of January the 14th, we are now housed in what was the old Journal News Center. An exciting move for us in many different ways. Now, I'm going to tell you that we're officially moved in there, but in reality, we still have a lot of movement and work to do to get in there and get everything to the degree that we would like to see it occur. Of those 130 students right now, the thrust has changed from at-risk students to college preparatory students looking to go on to a technical edge, a four-year college, and that kind of an emphasis. So not only are we shifting in numbers, but the focus has shifted. We have a strong emphasis on visual arts, music, theater, and dance. But what's really exciting about that is those are leading to higher education opportunities. So just to give you an example of that right now, of our 67, we have 67 seniors right now. Already this year, my seniors have been accepted at Point Park University, Marymount, Manhattan, Northern Kentucky University, Kent State, Ohio University, Berea College, and we still have different things coming in. So again, visual arts, music, theater, and dance leading directly into higher education opportunities in a very exciting manner. Those students who have been there have already received $200,000 of merit scholarships so far this year. So we're very excited about the fact that we're expanding. We're very excited about the fact that we are in downtown Hamilton still and that we are in the Journal News. We'll continue our growth process with that and hopefully be having people in front of you from our performing arts that are showing you the good things that we're doing. Just to wrap up, I want to make you aware of the fact that I do have an open house tonight at D. Russell Lee out on Route 4 that starts at 6 o'clock. And I do have an open house tonight at the School of Arts that starts at 6 o'clock over at the Old Journal News. So if I'm piquing your interest at all, tonight would be a great night to come out, take a quick look at what we're about and what we're doing, and there will be people there to give you some very specific information on what's happening both in the arts and in our secondary programs. With that, I would like to introduce Brian Pendergast, who is the principal of Baden High School.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the Rotary, the Linawal Kiwanis, and the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to speak to you today about Baden High School. Baden provides its students the opportunity to get an excellent education in a faith-based environment. Continuous improvement is what we strive for in all areas at Baden High School. We understand that we can be and should be proud of our past, but we must keep moving forward to achieve our goal of being the Catholic high school of choice. Currently, we are in the middle of a strategic planning process that has challenged us to take a look at a real in-depth look at what we do and why we do it. By surveying our parents and our students, asking the hard questions, and truly listening to their responses, we are able to chart a course for Baden's future that will allow us to thrive for many years to come. I'd like to thank our faculty, staff, and school board for their time and commitment to this very important process. A few members of our board and staff are here today, and I'd ask you to please stand to be recognized. We have a terrific school, but if we are content with where we are, we're doing a disservice to our students and to our alumni. We fully understand that we have to constantly reflect on and strengthen all of our programs. Our faculty has accepted this challenge and worked tirelessly to make sure that we provide the best education possible for the students of today. This commitment to continuous improvement will benefit the entire Baden family. As we strive to improve, we do so with the students' best interest as our focus for all of our decisions. Our school mission at Baden High School is to inspire young men and women to reach their personal best, live the faith, and lead the future. As a Catholic school, our #1 job is developing the faith life of our students. 85% of our students are Catholic, and we incorporate Catholic teachings into all of our subjects. However, we recognize and embrace students of all faiths. Our religion classes, Christian service programs, and retreat programs challenge all students to gain a better understanding of themselves and their faith and grow closer to God. Through the retreat program, students are provided the opportunity to examine their relationship with God and gain an understanding of how important it is and what God calls us to do, which is use our gifts and talents to their fullest to make the world a better place. This year, our sophomores had the opportunity to visit with and learn from many social agencies here in Hamilton, allowing the students to see ways they can help people here in our community. All of our seniors attend a Kairos retreat, which is the culmination of the retreat program at Baden. This 4-day, 3-night retreat is an extremely important, and in many cases, a life-changing experience. Kairos brings the students closer to each other, to their families, and to God. Our motto at Baden, serving God, serving others, can be seen in all the Christian service that our students perform. Whether it's serving meals at the Front Street Presbyterian Church at the Community Meal Center on Friday evenings, being a big in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, or helping to build houses through the Habitat for Humanity project, our students put their faith into action. The educational program we offer at Baden High School is designed to challenge each student to reach their highest academic potential. By offering different levels in math, science, and English, we are able to custom fit an educational experience for each of our students. Our curriculum allows students to explore and thrive in areas of interest and prepares each student for their next step in life. 97% of our students will go on to continue their education. We have a few kids each year that go on into the military and a couple kids that will go directly into the workforce. We feel it's important for them to be ready for each of those steps. In addition to our iPad program, the addition of our iPad program this year has opened up new and exciting educational opportunities. Note-taking, homework, and communication between teachers and students have all been made easier with the iPad. Students can create iMovies for their presentations, utilize apps that have specific topics that allow them to get farther in depth into each subject, and interact in ways with the material that we were never able to before. Teachers can actually record their lessons and project them on the smart boards for days when they're out of the building for professional development, and students can take tests on their iPads and get instant feedback. Technology has changed the world of education, and Baden is on the leading edge of that change. We host a career day in which representatives from over 40 different professions come to Baden to speak to our students. Each student selects 3 careers that they would like to learn about and attend 25-minute sessions to hear from experts in the field. We hold our career day every other year, and the feedback we receive from our students and from our guests have been and continue to be very positive. Last year, we introduced our Scholar Leader Academy for the students who received the highest scores on the high school placement test. Our Scholar Leader Academy focuses on 4 areas: leadership, service, scholarship, and community. Students in the Scholar Leader Academy are expected to be the leaders of the classroom and outside the classroom. They'll take the most challenging academic courses, participate in additional service projects, provide tutoring to fellow classmates, and they'll have the opportunity to meet with and learn from local and regional leaders to hear what it means to be a true leader. We are partnering with Miami University's Scholar Leader program also, which will provide our students the opportunity to be mentored by academic leaders at the collegiate level. We are extremely proud of this program and know that it will continue to develop and strengthen each year. On the facilities side, this past summer, we actually air-conditioned our building for the first time in the history of the school. The academic wing, theater, and offices have all been air-conditioned, and that environment creates a better learning experience. The gymnasium received a major overhaul with new lighting, mats, and paint. We are currently looking at replacing the boiler system at the school, which happens to be the original one from 1966. And the lighting and sound systems in our theater. As I mentioned earlier, our focus is our students. They are the strength of our school. I could stand here and tell you about story after story about all the amazing achievements that they accomplish, both as students and as alumni. I'm going to talk about 2 in particular, one involving a group of 2 current students and one involving an alumni. Junior Statesmen of America, better known as JSA, is the largest student-run organization in the United States. It is a national organization organized at the local chapter level. What makes JSA so unique is that the students organize every aspect of this organization, from the local chapters all the way up to the state and national administration. They debate topics including politics and government, foreign affairs, the law, and education. JSA allows for an exchange of ideas through stimulating student debates, thought talks, and problem-solving activities. The Baden JSA chapter started in 2006, and this year we have 2 students who are state and regional leaders. Austin Wishart, a junior, is the state debate agent, which means he writes and chooses the debates for the JSA state conventions in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and West Virginia. Michael Lacombe, a senior, is the JSA Cincinnati mayor. He's in charge of 17 chapters in the Cincinnati, Dayton, and Indianapolis area. He's responsible for making sure the current chapters are active and looks for opportunities to start additional chapters in these 3 regions. These student leaders were elected by their fellow JSA members at the state convention, a terrific honor and one that they take seriously. We are extremely proud of their accomplishments. After receiving an excellent education at Baden, our alumni go on to achieve great success and are leaders in their field. Zach Markham, a 2002 Baden grad, was recently named the 2012 Rising Star of the Year at the Next Generation Pharmacist Awards in San Diego. Zach earned his pharmacy doctorate at Butler University and is currently an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Pittsburgh. Zach is working on his PhD at Pitt in clinical and translational science. His focus is on improving the interaction between pharmacy, medicine, and senior citizens. He recently concluded a 2-year fellowship in geriatrics pharmacy at Pitt and has now applied for a 5-year research grant from the National Institute of Aging. These are just 2 examples of the great success Baden students achieve. There was a time a few years back when some people questioned the future of Baden High School and whether we would even exist. I'm here today to tell you that we not only is Baden here to stay, but we are thriving. Our enrollment continues to increase and will increase again for the 4th straight year next year. The future of Baden High School is bright, and we continue to inspire young men and women to achieve their personal best, live the faith, and lead the future for many years to come. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. Please know you're always welcome to stop by and see for yourself what the Baden family is all about. Thank you, and have a great day. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Hamilton City Schools, Mrs. Janet Baker.
Thank you, Brian. A special thanks to my administrative team who are sitting in the front for being with us today, and for our new technology director for preparing the slides for our presentation. If you've driven down High Street recently, you've probably seen the words live, learn, work, and play on the window of Community Design Alliance. These are the same values that also drive our city's strategic plan. But as the superintendent of the Hamilton Schools, I'm here today to focus on learn. In past State of the School speeches, I've done a lot of bragging about the accomplishments of the school district in isolation. But today what I want to share with you are how the activities of the district align with and enhance the future direction of our community. I think we'd all agree that our community is in a state of rapid change and rejuvenation, and so is the school district. This was probably driven home to me a few weeks ago at the unveiling of the CORE initiative. Being a lifetime resident of Hamilton, I left that meeting so excited about the potential and the future of the city and the important role that education plays but will continue to play in this greater transformation. So let me begin by just sharing with you our updated mission. It highlights richer opportunities, broader experiences, and challenging programs that prepare all students for success and to be college and career ready. So keep those 3 words, success and college and career ready, in mind, because these are the new priorities in education, not only for Ohio, but across the nation. And what do they mean? They call for greater accountability for our students and staff, much more rigorous curriculum, and an increased focus on post-secondary success. So let's take a look at the concept of college and career readiness. Most of you sitting in this room probably know that Hamilton High School is a comprehensive high school. But what you may not know or be aware of is that it's one of a kind in our county. The students in every other school district in the county may have to leave their own home high school in order to pursue rich career technical pathways. But in Hamilton, we're able to provide this opportunity on site in our Career Technical Center, all the while enabling Hamilton students to take part in their total high school experience. What an unbelievable asset that is for Hamilton students, but more importantly, the Hamilton community. So let's talk about our technical successes. Over the past 3 years, students in our career technical programs have earned 461 college credits, saving them almost $65,000 in tuition. Pretty impressive. Another benefit is that it shortens the time that it takes them to earn their degree, and thereby it enables them to start their desired careers a little bit earlier. The district's ABLE program, which stands for Adult Basic Literacy and Education, serves a total of about 700 students, with its primary location being at the newly renovated Journal News building right downtown. These students, ages 19 to 44, are finishing their high school degree, preparing for post-secondary education, or they're upgrading their job skills. Students in our more traditional college prep program can also earn these college credits that I talked about in just a variety of ways. In the past 2 years, for example, 50 students have earned college credit in statistics and calculus through our dual enrollment program. And in the past year, 33 students have earned 240 semester credit hours through a post-secondary program with Miami Hamilton. This is really impressive. Over the past 3 years, students in the district's advanced placement program have earned a 3 or higher on the advanced placement on 402 advanced placement tests. This is a tuition savings of over $500,000. And when I looked at that figure, I went, wow, impressive. Our comprehensive academic programs prepare our students to be well-educated, high-performing, and that's exactly consistent with the type of employee or citizen that our city is looking to attract. Their high school preparation has earned them acceptance into top universities: Duke, University of South Carolina, Texas A&M, the University of Colorado, University of Alabama, and of course Ohio State, Xavier, University of Cincinnati, Miami, Rice University, Case Western Reserve, and Carnegie Mellon. They've earned very impressive degrees in categories like accounting and marketing, chemical, mechanical, and civil engineering, nursing, biological science, chemistry, information management systems, and business administration. But we also believe that one of the most important goals of public education is to develop life readiness and to develop well-rounded citizens. To that end, we have intentionally invested in strong fine arts programs, a national award-winning character initiative, and comprehensive extracurricular offerings. These priorities not only meet the individual needs and talents of our students, but they also affect families moving into the school district and the community. Specifically, we have enrolled over 300 new students over the past 3 years, defying trends certainly in urban education, but also in urban communities. So I think today, as I stand here, we can all agree on one thing: Hamilton is evolving, and it's definitely on the move. And while we can be proud of what we've all accomplished, I think we need to acknowledge and embrace the work and the challenges that lie ahead. And what we realize in the school district is that it's not enough for one entity alone to be successful. It takes all of us. It takes the education community, the city, the chamber, the universities, the social service agencies, the foundations, the hospital, the business community, and most importantly, it takes the citizens working together in a spirit of openness and collaboration to truly make Hamilton a destination for working, living, playing, and I believe, most importantly, learning. Thank you. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce another person who's passionate about education at a higher level, Dr. Michael Pratt from Miami University, Hamilton.
Thank you, Janet. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'd like to first thank Kenny Craig and the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary, and the Lindenwold Kiwanis for arranging this event and giving us all the opportunity to talk to you about education in our community, which is so important on every level. I'd also like to start by asking the senior administrators and faculty from Miami Hamilton who are here today to stand up for a second. Without these folks and without their colleagues, we wouldn't be where we are today, and we wouldn't get to the place where we want to be. So a little bit about where we are today and where we want to be. Classes started Monday at Miami Hamilton with the first day head count of 4,678 students, up 3.2% from this time last year. So we're holding our own in a difficult economy, and the campus continues to grow. 2013 will be a pivotal year for the regional campuses both in Hamilton and in Middletown. As you know, and as most of you have heard probably many times, Miami is in the process of establishing a 6th academic division that will include the regional campuses. I'd like to explain exactly what this means because there have been repeated misconceptions about what it means. At least some of the confusion comes from the use of the word division, which implies a split or a separation, when in fact the opposite is true. The new academic division will be even more closely attached to the university, both administratively and operationally. But we will have increased independence in developing our academic degrees and programs. So allow me to quell any notion that the regional campuses are going to be cut off from the rest of Miami University. That is not going to happen. The name of the new division, which is important in describing the mission and focus of regional campus education, as well as important for recruitment, branding, marketing, and public relations efforts, will be finalized over the course of this semester. In a broad survey conducted last fall among Miami faculty, staff, and alumni representing all of the campuses, the most popular of the choices was the College of Professional and Applied Sciences. However, selection of a name is a university-wide process. It's not yet completed, and this is not an announcement of what the new name will be. But whatever it's called, we will operate parallel to, not separate from, the Farmer School of Business, the College of Arts and Sciences, the School of Education, Health and Society, the College of Engineering and Applied Science, and the School of Creative Arts. Miami has not added a new academic division since the early 1970s, and before that it was the 1950s, and before that the 1920s, and before that before 1900. You get the picture. This is a very big deal for the entire university, and it's a very exciting time for the Hamilton campus and for this community. In part, the division structure is designed to facilitate the development of new bachelor degrees. A new bachelor degree in criminal justice is now available at Miami Hamilton as of this week, the start of the term. A concentration in our Bachelor of Engineering Technology, a major in electrical and computer engineering, should begin this fall. We are also looking very closely at 4 or 5 other areas where we could have a new bachelor's degree focused on specific student demands and local workforce needs. A couple of these are already in the pipeline, and our task is to begin to roll out 5 or more of these in the next 5 years. Miami Hamilton continues to be a smart, flexible, and responsible way to earn a first-class education close to home. Additional 4-year degrees make the campus an even more viable option for higher education now and in the future. As we like to say it, Hamilton address, Miami degree. We're also working with the Oxford campus to streamline the relocation process for regional campus students who want to relocate and complete the degrees over there in Oxford. And there's a new program that's going to be rolled out probably within the next few months on that I'm not privy to talk about. Historically, for the last 40-plus years, Miami-Hamilton predominantly offered 2-year associate degrees. Those remain, but we are now becoming more of a 4-year campus, in line with what our students demand, what our employers need, and what the state of Ohio expects from its public universities. As we build new and different degrees, recruit new and better students, offer strengthened pathways for students to complete degrees in Oxford, and provide more educational opportunities for local citizens, we are developing a system more responsive to our own needs, the needs of Miami University as a whole, and the needs of the external forces that are shaping higher education. While the Oxford campus is choosing to hold its current enrollment size, the regional campuses have no such limitations. This gives us an advantage to grow our size and our enrollment and our academic breadth, which isn't really available on the Oxford campus. Our faculty cross all major disciplines, so we have in place the opportunity to consider integrative or interdisciplinary approaches to existing and emerging fields of study. We also have the opportunity to think beyond our existing faculty resources and consider growing programs that are coming on in high demand. The mission of public universities now includes directly contributing to job growth and economic development, and rightly so. In establishing a new academic division, the regional campuses, in establishing a new academic division at the regional campuses, Miami University's Board of Trustees is giving us greater flexibility to respond to changing conditions in all of these sectors. The development of Saturday and evening programs, online and hybrid courses, and new career-focused 4-year degrees offered only at the regional campuses, and these include the Bachelor of Integrative Studies, the Health Information Technology degree, Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, the engineering technology major I mentioned in electrical and computer engineering. These demonstrate how we can effectively respond to workforce needs. Less than 5 years ago, Miami-Hamilton offered just 2 bachelor degrees, one in nursing and one in engineering technology. Today we have 5.5, and more are in the pipeline. We are currently involved in development of the next phase of the Skills Central program, already open at the former Journal News building and mentioned by Butler Tech here this morning. I'm meeting soon with Kenny, John Gaduli, and Bill Russell to develop a collaboration with Miami University, which will make university credits available to the Skills Central students. We continue to renovate the former Champion International building at the corner of Knightsbridge Drive and University Boulevard. We anticipate this building will house art and art studio classes and the Campus Kids Daycare Center, opening spaces in Schwarm, Rensselaer, and Mosler halls for new uses. Some art classes have already begun taking place at that new building, and faculty are pleased with the new space, and if you drive by there and you see cars in the parking lot, there are students. We've completed extensive renovations at Miami-Hamilton's Downtown Center for Civic Engagement and the Arts, and we will continue to expand public programming there. If you haven't been there recently, I encourage you to stop by and check it out. You've probably noticed the new paint job on the exterior trim of the Robinson Schwen building that houses our downtown center. Last Friday, we hosted the Ice Fest media event at our downtown center. At the last minute, I was unable to attend, but Associate Dean Lee Sanders, who's here today, helped us spread the word about one of Hamilton's signature events. The downtown center will be open during Ice Fest this weekend, so feel free to stop in for a visit as you're checking out the ice sculptures along High Street. I'll close, as I said at the beginning. This will be a semester of great change. By the fall, we will have a new brand and a new message. Much will change, but much will also remain the same, including the Hamilton and Middletown campus identities and the historic and close relationships those campuses have with their individual communities. And thank you again for inviting me to talk before this group today.
Upon closing, I'd like to relate a story, and it involves Miami University, Mike, so bear with me here. In the early 70s, I had the privilege of being on staff at the Hamilton campus, and we were laying out the tennis courts. Many of you know where they are today. And so I didn't feel that we had the expertise to finish the project. So I called a fellow in Oxford by the name of Art Conrad. Many of you know Art Conrad. He's a legend at the university. He was in charge of all the grounds at all the campuses, and he was a remarkable man. And so I had a chance to visit with him extensively during this project. One afternoon, we sat down between Rentschler and Moser Hall on a ledge, a little stone ledge, and I said, Art, the sidewalks at the Oxford campus are most unusual. There are all kinds of angles. Some don't make sense. How did you lay these out? And Art said, young man, I wait until there's a muddy path between all the other sidewalks. In other words, he let the clients tell him where to put the sidewalks. That was an incredible non-academic lesson for me. It's apparent that the schools in the greater Hamilton area are doing the same thing. We're filling a need, recognizing the need, and not dictating to the schools what we'll do, but letting the schools dictate to us exactly how they're going to fill that need. So upon closing, I'd like you to remember that. On behalf of Hamilton Kiwanis and Rotary, I'd like to thank you for coming today. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
I walked